If you're drawn to the quiet, deep, and mysterious sides of life, and you value heart over polish, then settle in. You're in the right place. The paths to all the best things in my life have always been heavily signposted with synchronicities. When I met my husband 20 years ago, blue was already firmly established as a key symbol in my personal mythology. So when a friend request came from a stranger named Blue on MySpace, I accepted it. Those moments feel to me like little nods from the universe telling me that I'm moving in the right direction. Carl Jung coined the term synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that has no causal link, yet arrives with a sense of perfect timing. For Jung, it was evidence of the mysterious ways that our inner and outer worlds can mirror each other in meaningful ways. Mystics throughout history have treated it as guidance from the unseen, and psychologists might call it the unconscious directing attention in ways that reveal hidden themes. But whatever lens we choose to look at them through, synchronicities make us pause and wonder. And this is what I want to explore today: how synchronicity can become a living dialogue between your conscious mind, your unconscious, and the wider field that we all exist in. A language that isn't linear, but metaphorical, playful, and intelligent. And the more we tune in, the more we feel seen and connected to something profoundly magical. It's important to understand that the unconscious doesn't speak in linear logical sentences. It speaks in metaphor, in imagery, in symbols, and pattern recognition. It communicates through subtle shifts in attention, intuitive pulls, and emotional resonance. When we're in a passage of healing, our systems become even more sensitive. The inner world is stirring, old memories surface, and certain aspects of us come into our awareness for healing and integration. And because the unconscious can guide our attention in meaningful ways, synchronicities often come up right when we're exploring something important within ourselves. It's not that the universe is orchestrating and directing every synchronicity like a cosmic stage manager. I think it's more that we're tuning in to a deeper current, a current that runs beneath the mundane, offering hints of the highly personal and deeply meaningful reason of why we're here. Maybe you're working on some childhood trauma, accessing some deep old memories of around the time that happened. And then the same day, later on, you're rifling through a drawer looking for a pair of scissors, and you find a photo of yourself at exactly that age. Or you begin to explore certain themes, worthiness, self-expression, grief, whatever it is. And then suddenly you start seeing the same theme appearing everywhere. A line in a book, a lyric in a song, the plot of a show, a stray conversation in a cafe. It's like your inner system is giving you a message. Pay attention, pause, and notice this. When we notice synchronicities, they can often give us a little exciting jolt. But the real magic of synchronicities isn't necessarily in that moment, but in the contemplation that comes afterwards. Often the meaning isn't obvious, but if you hold it gently in your awareness, or begin to research a little bit, something begins to unfold that reveals important, valuable information for you on your journey. Some questions you can ask yourself. What was I thinking or feeling right before it appeared? Is there a theme here connected to my current healing? What decision, longing, or deep question might this event be responding to? Is this pointing towards a part of me that needs attention? What emotional tone does this synchronicity carry? And as you explore these ideas and ask yourself these questions, your unconscious will often join in, not directly, but with imagery, intuition, or a sudden aha moment. You can use synchronicities as jumping off points to explore and find your own meaning within them. For example, say on your way to work, you notice a swan. Then you arrive at work and it's somebody's birthday and they're passing around a card. And when it comes to you, you notice there's a swan on the cover. Then the next day, you're reading a really interesting article and look down to see who the author is. And their last name is Swan. By this point, it should be clear that the swan symbol is holding something for you, something to investigate. Looking into the symbolism, you discover that swans are known for helping you to navigate change. But life's pretty stable for you at the moment, and that just doesn't feel like a right fit. But then as you're perusing the other meanings, maybe looking at different cultural contexts, you come across the story of the ugly duckling, and suddenly something lights up. And as you explore the story and the meaning and the symbolism within that story, you gain clarity and understanding about your own life. This is how you begin to build your own personal language of symbolism, a language that belongs only to you, and a language that grows and becomes richer and clearer the more you engage with it. That's the most powerful thing about synchronicity. It's so personal. What feels charged and important for me might feel like nothing to you. But the more that you track events, the more a private, symbolic language begins to form. Your inner system is always trying to reach you, to help you grow, to heal, to align. With synchronicity, the universe becomes a co-conspirator, and this dance between inner and outer reality can feel like magic. Even obscure synchronicities, the ones that seem random and disconnected, if you get that feeling about it, it will often lead somewhere if you just stick with it and dig a little deeper around it. Synchronicities are like signposts, like invitations, clues, even sometimes initiations. The more broadly you research, the better. Definitely don't just settle on the first meaning. Keep looking until you find that thing that just feels right, and you'll know. In a world that often feels dry, dull, mechanical, and disconnected, synchronicity can be a portal back to enchantment, back to the sense that life is participatory, alive, and intelligent. And when you pay attention to synchronicity, you're saying to life, I'm listening, I'm engaging, and life engages back. So if something glimmers, lingers, repeats, just pause. Just sit with it and ask yourself what this might mean for me. Where is it pointing? It's like our own little personal mystery to unravel. And that simple act of paying attention, of noticing, can open the door to a whole new way of being, where our life becomes not just a series of events, but a meaningful conversation that helps us to grow. Okay, thank you to everybody who's made it this far. Synchronicities are such a huge force in my life, and as I was making this, I had a beautiful one that I thought would just be really nice to share here. So when I was coming up with examples, the idea of the swan came to me, and then the next day, my friend posted the painting that she'd been working on the day before. And of course, it's the swan, which I had as the image there. That's what I love about the synchronicities, is that they often just have layer upon layer of meaning, and that we can discover the further we take it. So she's actually lives in Belgium and speaks French. I didn't even think of this in the moment, but a swan in French is cygne, which is sign in French. So the word in French for swan and sign is exactly the same one. And that's something that when I was coming up with the example didn't even enter into my awareness, but it just shows that magical, poetic nature that synchronicities often hold. So that was a nice little coincidence. Now, some of you may have noticed that I've slowed down. I'm not doing these videos weekly anymore. I'm going to be trying for fortnightly. That feels like what can fit in for me at the moment. And the energies have been really, really intense for me. I'm somebody who's quite sensitive. It was interesting actually because Stefan Burns, who I listen to he's a geophysicist who speaks about space weather. And there was something that he mentioned about how there's certain conditions, like I think you mentioned lupus and Lyme's disease, which makes people more sensitive to those energies. And I thought, wow, that's super interesting considering I have MS, because I feel like they really affect me in a very big way. But it's not just that I might get feel a little bit jittery, but it's also that I feel like around these times, things in my life kind of come up almost like I'm being tested. And right now is that is no joke. I feel like where I'm walking, there's so much unknown. It feels so important to really just allow and to know that it might not look like how I want it to look, how my human self thinks it should look. I really hope that it does, but I have to be open to the possibility that it might not. And that's where I am at the moment. So, really trying to just stay in this place of acceptance, of peace, but at the same time, taking steps that make sense, that will hopefully lead me where I want to go. So, I know I am not alone in terms of feeling these energies, feeling like things feel really intense. I know for each one of us, it's probably so different and will come out in such different ways. But we're all in this together, and I feel like we are moving into the real transitioning point. I feel like things are heating up in terms of the transition. I feel like 2026 is going to be really pivotal. I mean, it already feels to me like things have got surreal for the last more than 5 years now. But I think that could even increase. We'll see. We'll see. I think the important thing really moving forward is, not giving too much of our focus to the world stage. There's going to be all kinds of drama and things playing out. And I think the question of, is this something that I can create change or I can affect? And a lot of that stuff on the world stage is beyond our personal spheres of influence. There's nothing we can actually do. And I think moving forward, that's where our energy needs to go. We need to put it into our little piece. What are we doing? What are we bringing to the collective? What power do we have to bring more love into the world? I think it's as simple as that. So on that note, I'll say goodbye. From my heart to yours, let's come together to build a future on the foundation of love.